Hi. Are you fed up with going under the spell of toxic smallness generated by your inner critic, who's going round and round and round inside of you, chasing its tail, certain about everything that's not going to work, caught in your limited strategic mind that's constantly in binary yes, no, go, don't go? You know the feeling. You need a remedy from your inner first aid kit, and you need a deep thinking remedy. What I mean by that is you need to go underneath the superficial, strategic, tail chasing, hamster cage craziness of your inner critic and get underneath to your deep thinking, where you can really pause and recognize the incredible wisdom you carry about seeing the big picture, of getting insights about your life and how to move forward, and to help nurture and connect with your inner critic so that it calms itself down. In this video, I'll give you an understanding of what's going on with that inner critic, and I'll also give you the opportunity to connect with a free guided journey to your deep thinking wisdom, how to connect with that and really access that ability to see a very different perspective than your crazed, freaked out, wounded inner critic. Okay? Hi, I'm Sheila Belanger. I'm a strategic transformation coach, and I specialize in helping people who are at the edges. When you know the old life is over and the new life is not yet here, and you can feel the habitual pull of your old ways of being, your old toxic smallness ways. I want to give you resources, guidance for inner practices, and enthusiastic support that you can say, I can travel the edge without collapsing back into my old small ways. And I especially can find a way to tame my inner critic and have the courage to move forward into the life my soul wants me to live. If you like what I'm doing with this channel, please subscribe. I put up a new video every Tuesday, and enjoy this video to help contact your deep thinking remedy from your inner first aid kit and help that inner critic settle down.
The inner wisdom of your deep thinking. Get a remedy from your inner critic who gets caught in toxic smallness. You can feel so paralyzed by the limiting mindsets of your wounded inner critic when you're at the edge of inner changes. We know inner edges are challenging because at these edges, you know that your old life and identities are over, but you do not yet know who you are becoming nor where you are going. It's a very important, fruitful, vulnerable place, and your inner critic can get right in there to mess it up. You need a way to access more of your inner wisdom so you can free yourself from your wounded inner critic's spell of self diminishment. Now, you carry many selves within you. We all do. These inner selves are various parts of your personality. You have wounded as well as wholeness inner figures. Each of these wholeness and wounded inner figures has its own way of thinking, feeling, and being. Dominant wounded inner figures are often habitual and rooted in your adaptive childhood survival strategies. All of the need to be a good girl, good boy, good being, good child that happens for all of us. Your wounded inner figures took on the job to ensure that you fit in so that you would survive and not be exiled. They believe that their job is to protect you by keeping you small, safe, and invisible so that you socially belong. They are your limiting protectors, and we all have them and various versions of them. When you're at the edge of inner changes, your inner critic can sabotage your ability to go forward with self diminishment moves. To keep you safe, so called safe, your inner critic uses toxic smallness moves, inciting you to act small, either beneath your potential or one dimensionally. These toxic smallness moves include limiting self talk, punitive inner mantras, and dramatic fear stories. You need a remedy from your inner first aid kit to help shift your inner critic's mindset that is holding you hostage. Your inner critic gets twisted up with mental fear, anxiety, and painful stories from your past. Remember, it's trying to keep you safe by not changing, by staying small and invisible. Their main territory of control is in your strategic mind. Your strategic mind is a primitive, binary focused part of you that tries to keep you safe from danger. It's constantly assessing your life situation stop, go, yes, no, good, bad, etc. It's a necessary part of all of us, but it's very superficial. It's like an immediate reactive assessment. And mainly, it wants to keep you small, confined, not threatened. But binary is for computers because we are much bigger than that. You are so much more than you think you are, especially who your strategic mind thinks you are. Expand your awareness beyond your inner critic and your strategic mind with your 4 ways of knowing. We have many ways of knowing, but we have 4 primary ways of knowing that are essential. The senses, the wisdom of our body, the feelings, the wisdom of our heart and emotions, the imagination, the wisdom of what we can imagine, and the imagery that comes to us, and the mental. But as you'll see, it's not the superficial strategic mind mental, it's the deep mental or deep thinking. Use your 4 ways of knowing to tap into your inner wisdom. The 4 windows of wisdom are your ways of knowing. This is something that comes from the work of Eligio Stephen Gallegos. He has a book called Animals of the 4 Windows, and it's adapted from his work as well as the work of Bill Plotkin and Animas Valley Institute. Your 4 windows of wisdom are 4 primary human modalities through which you learn about yourself and the world. The senses window is full present sensing. What do your body and senses know? The feelings window, full bodied feeling. What do your feelings and heart know? What's your gut tell you? What's your heart tell you? Your feelings in your body and your being. Your imagination window, deep imagination. What does your imagination know? It's not the superficial sense that the culture puts on it, like, oh, that's just your imagination. It's like the deep visioning and imaginative function within us that's phenomenal as a place of wisdom. And the thinking window, or the deep thinking window, heart centered thinking. What does your deep thinking know? As you come to see, it's not, again, an immediate reactive thinking, it's more of a rooted, deep thinking that tracks things, has insights, recognizes patterns. We all have these 4 windows of wisdom. Unfortunately, in our dominant culture, mostly we're caught in the strategic mind, the superficial thinking, and we have not activated the wisdom of these other ways of knowing. So the thinking window, the mental window, is heart-centered thinking. Heart-centered, it's rooted in your heart and rooted in your being. What does your deep thinking know? Not caught just in the superficial reactive mind. So consciously explore the wisdom of your deep thinking rather than be unconsciously ruled by your strategic mind. Again, recognizing bigger picture, connections, insights. One remedy for your inner critic, self-diminishing, toxic smallness moves is to get a more expanded perception. Come explore a simple deep thinking remedy from your inner first aid kit to support your inner critic when they are activated. Like, let's get a bigger perspective here. Shine the light on a bigger perspective. First, stop any external tasks. Slow down and be still for a few moments. I'm walking you through a very simple remedy for deep thinking for your inner critic. So stop any external tasks, slow down, and be still for a few moments. Identify one challenging situation in your life, could be inside or outside, where your inner critic is offering its toxic smallness commentary to diminish you. It's bad advice, but it thinks it's trying to take care of you. I'm sure there's more than one, but just identify one challenging situation where your inner critic is really set off and is trying to diminish you. Don't think too much about it. You know what it is. Then, to quiet your mind, take 3 slow, deep breaths and fill each out breath through your nostrils. Just take a moment here. 3 deep breaths. Breathe in, slowly exhale. Breathe in again, exhale. One more time. Breathe in deeply, exhale, feeling the out breath through your nostrils. Now imagine that your mind grows roots deep into the earth and perceives patterns of interconnectedness, just like the mycelium network underneath the earth that the mushrooms show us. It's a little bit of imagination, but just let your mind drop down through your heart and your body into the earth to access the part of your deep thinking that perceives interconnectedness and bigger perspective. Hold the challenging situation you identified in your quieted mind and allow any insights to emerge. I'm going to hold space with you for just a bit. Just try this. You're thinking deeply rooted. Now bring that challenging situation to your heart and in your quiet mind. Just be open to whatever you might perceive. Okay, take a breath, a very simple process. And even if nothing comes when you do this, recognize that just to slow down and invite connection to your deep thinking wisdom can break the spells of the inner critic. You may want to try this simple exercise many, many times and just slow yourself down, drop your mind through your heart into the earth, and open to your deep thinking wisdom. Notice if this deep thinking remedy helps you to be less self-diminishing. Sorry for the mistake in the slide, but less self-diminishing. And if so, use it as needed. Break it out of your inner first aid kit and apply as needed. Roy T. Bennett says, the biggest wall you have to climb is the one you build in your mind. Never let your mind talk you out of your dreams, trick you into giving up. Never let your mind become the greatest obstacles to success. To get your mind on the right track, the rest will follow. That's part of connecting to your deep thinking, to go underneath the strategic mind and the techniques of self-diminishment that the inner critic uses. Now, you can also do a guided journey with your deep thinking window to connect with the wisdom of your insightful mind. You can sign up for the free guided journey to access the wisdom of your deep thinking window with me. Below in the description is a link to an audio journey. All you have to do is click on that. You'll be taken right to the audio. You can start it and be listening to it. It's a simple, less than 10 minutes guided journey to connect with your deep thinking. You can expand your inner critic's mindset using your deep thinking intelligence. Let yourself connect to the inner wisdom of your deep thinking.
Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, check out these other videos and don't forget to subscribe. Tap the subscribe button so you'll be notified when new videos are up every Tuesday. And thanks so much for watching.